mixed media artist, tutor and mentor, and I'm based in the south of Derbyshire. And I've been invited here to talk for the Derbyshire Open Arts audience about how I use the internet, how I use social media to keep in touch with my fans and my clients during this challenging time. Like you, it was a big drop off a cliff at the start of lockdown, and that experience of suddenly being very isolated and away from all those spaces and places that we connect to each other through as creative people. So all the galleries shut, our opportunity to sell face to face through events kind of all fell away, and it looks like for a while that's going to be the case. So making sure that we stay in the public eye, stay creative, show people our creative journey and how we are changing and what we are able to offer during this time is really important. I have been using social media for a few years now, and my favourite spaces to share as a creative are on Instagram, and for events and event management on Facebook. I run quite a lot of online workshops, and I find that Facebook is a good space to share those. But on Instagram, it's a great place to find your creative tribe and your followers, and to keep in touch with your fans. Keeping your audience in touch with you means that you need to be delivering content on a very regular basis, and it's that idea of consistency which is really important. I think like any kind of New Year plan, putting in place something which is going to actually last and be something that you can keep up with and a commitment that you enjoy is all part of the planning. And it's easy to think, oh, I can post twice a day and I can just pluck ideas from my from the ether. But actually what you need to do is make a plan and a commitment to what you're going to put out there on your social media platforms. And one of the ways that you can do that and structure that is using a social media planner. They're really useful. I'm a big fan of Buffer, and that enables you to take time each week, instead of doing it kind of every day, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, to take some time each week to put a plan of what you can put out and deliver. And then that gives it themes, it gives it stories, and it gives you some content that you can start to kind of get an idea of what you can put on the plan, and it will automatically be delivered to your Instagram and Facebook feeds. Visibility is also the big thing, the big watchword. It's a big noise on Instagram and Facebook. It's very hard to be seen, and you've got to put yourself in the shoes of the person viewing, and we all do this. We all sit with our Instagram and we just scroll, and having some sort of identity where people recognize that it's you is going to be really important. Now, a lot of us rely on that being our work because that is what we create, but it needs to be more than that. I think when our social media platform becomes a replacement for all those face-to-face communications and meetings that we would have had, it's really important that you put yourself in and some of you comes through. And that means showing our faces, and that's something that we've all got to become brave with. It's something I've had to do in this last year. I very rarely showed my face on my social media, but it really is your ticket to your uniqueness, your story, and your ability for people to get to know you and to like you, to trust you, and then to buy from you if that's your plan with your creative pursuits. So that is kind of where we're at. It's that consistency of what you're putting out there and your visibility. So as well as your work, you can show people your face and who you are, and where you live. Not obviously your front door, that's kind of a bit crazy, but you know, what kind of an environment you live in, how that feeds into your work, how you connect. And it's finding those overlaps with your fans. So it's all very well if you love collecting clown china dolls, putting that on there if that's got context with the work that you sell and the people you're trying to reach. But if it doesn't, leave that off. Think about that Venn diagram of where you overlap with your customer, you overlap with your fan. And for me, that's through nature. So I share pictures of walks, and it's about landscape because I'm a landscape artist, and it's so place comes into that and telling the story of the places that I visit and where I live and where I connect with nature. writing down, keeping a plan of what the content is that you're going to regularly deliver is really helpful. So having a notebook of ideas for your Instagram and Facebook feeds is really useful. And I've spent some time putting together kind of a monthly theme so that I've got an overview of what I'm going to be putting out there, and then I can break that down into a weekly kind of conversations that I can have. Or it might be that you always share a picture of a walk on a Wednesday, or you always share a picture of your cat on a Sunday. Whatever it is that helps you have that conversation and to keep it simple and regular is really valid for you. And I would say as part of that, this ability to be able to tell your own story is really useful. So to sit with your journal and write down what it is that makes you unique, what it is that people come to you for, what your art says about you, and how you can expand that and create that narrative so that other people can better understand you. And it's quite hard to feel that vulnerability, I think, of putting yourself out there, but to tell the story of why it is you do what you do and how it makes you feel then helps others to be able to understand the context of what you're doing and to connect with it. And don't forget that you need to keep showing your face. A lot of people put their work as their profile picture, but it's hard, I think, for people to connect with you and with your story if they don't see you. And they get to know you through that. They get to know you through being visible. So keep your profile picture a lovely smiley face, and then also pop into your Instagram feed on a regular basis. They say every 10 pictures should be a picture of you. And that doesn't have to be like a formulaic headshot picture of you. It can be, a selfie of you working in your studio. It can be a picture of you walking with your family, and it doesn't have to be kind of let's have the whole family shot in, but I don't know, a picture of you holding your kid's hand or walking the dog, or whatever it is. It gives it that narrative and that fullness which people are kind of looking for. And I think at the minute they're very open to it. They want to know your stories, and I've found that people are very receptive and they want to help support artists at this challenging time. So whether you're an artist or a maker, whether you're used to being on Facebook, Instagram or not, I think it's a really useful time to come to terms with what that can offer you and offer your audience. And there's a really great feeling, I think, on Instagram of supporting each other. So use those hashtags, find out who uses what hashtags in similar places to where you want to exhibit, how you show what you're marketing, and use those to effect so that you can connect with other people who are doing similar things to you and find yourself new audiences and new ways of marketing your work. Okay, thank you. Bye.